He is Brent Hubbs. I'm Austin Price for the Volquest Stock Report on this UTSA week. Hubber, I'll start. I'm going to go stock up Brew McCoy. 5 catches, 94 yards last week. He does the little things that helps this football team win, like block down the field. He's a leader, and for my liking, he needs more targets and more catches. So I'm going to stock up Brew McCoy. Stock up for you.
Stock up for me is going to be the specialist. And, obviously they didn't have a lot go right, Tennessee, as a team in Florida. But Charles Campbell has come in and did exactly what you expected him to do. He's been super consistent, has kicked the ball really well, made all of his field goals, all of his extra points. Josh Tuberville kicked everything through the end zone, no out of bounces. The moment wasn't too big for him. And then you got to give a hats off to Jackson Ross. I mean, can you have a much worse start to your college career than what he had in Nashville, shanking 2, and then he comes back to Neyland Stadium and he shanks his first one. He punted the ball well. Their operation seems to be better. They're not giving up any punt return yards. So I'm going to give a stock up to the specialists, who were not a stock up to start the year, but special teams was a stock up Saturday night.
No doubt about it. Handled the hostile environment really, really well. Stock down for me is going to be the offensive line. Tennessee is, not playing that well up front. Yeah, they're giving up not that many sacks, only 3 on the year, but the pressures that alter plays, the running backs are having to get a lot of yards after contact. I feel like Jalen Wright, is getting everything he can on his own at times. So I think the offensive line has to be better. Does it get cured up when they get, a Mincy back eligible for offensive plays? Does it get cured back some when Cooper comes back? I would venture to say so. But at the same time, they still have some issues they've got to kind of work through and see if they can kind of turn the corner themselves. Stock down for you.
Yeah, I was looking at specific positions or players for stock down. I'm just going to go the entire defense in this deal. You and I talked about it pregame. Felt like the defense would keep Tennessee's offense in the game if they stumbled and sputtered a little bit. You give up 4 consecutive touchdowns, 4 drives for touchdowns in the first half and in the game for you. They didn't tackle well. I hate the word eye discipline, but their eyes weren't very good and in the right place. Motions and shifts seemed to bother them. They had some veteran secondary players that didn't drop properly in some zone coverage and gave up third down conversions. You can't look at that game. I mean, you could look at the second half and say, okay, they made some adjustments and they played better. They only gave up 3 points. How aggressive was Florida there? You can debate all of that. But when Tennessee had to have a play defensively in the first half, Austin, they couldn't make a play. And they're going to have to play better if this team's going to win in conference play, because Tennessee offensively has got to score more than 16 points, but they're not going to put up 45 points a game in conference play. They're going to have to play better complementary football, and this defense has got to start by playing better than they played Saturday night.
Stock stagnant for me is the guy that's yet to play a football game for Tennessee this year, and that's Cooper Mays. What does the offense look like when he gets its starting center back? We don't know. And so until he gets back on the field, it's kind of hard to know, where things are at with him. Getting close. Ultimately, this is going to be on Cooper and what he feels like he's capable of and how much he can handle. Wouldn't shock me to see him this weekend. I think he's back next week for South Carolina, which is why I said it wouldn't shock me if he played to kind of get a little acclimated back this week against UTSA, but we will see if that happens. Stock stagnant for you.
Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit big picture here, and that's the leadership of this team and the leadership in this program. It's been a loud week, right? They're starting to get questions that they haven't had before. It's where's Nico? Is there a quarterback debate? Is all of these types of things? You had a quote from Aaron Beasley that was a little bit of a head scratcher, and maybe he didn't understand the question, but the notion that he wasn't surprised by the lack of discipline. Tennessee's had 10 penalties in each of the last 2 games. They've been a big heavy penalized team really since Josh Heupel's been here. This team can't overcome those mistakes as well as last year's team could, and even the first year in this program that the way that they could. You got players interacting with fans on social media, getting into it with that kind of stuff. Where is this team's leadership? Where is the mindset? Can they get locked in? I don't put a whole lot of stock in a players-only meeting last week, AP, but at the same time, too, leadership shows up the biggest in adverse times or times where things aren't going particularly well. And right now, it's not been a good week for Tennessee. What do they look like on Saturday? Where's the leadership in the locker room to make sure this team comes out, plays better with a killer instinct to put a team away? I'm going to be keeping a close eye on kind of this team's body language and what they look for, because we just don't know. Not a lot of guys on this team have gone through a bunch of difficult times, like a lot of those seniors had last year, right?
That's right.
So we'll see. I think that's something key to watch moving forward with this team.
He's Brent Hubbs. I'm Austin Price for the Volquest Stock Report for this UTSA week.